السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهد الله فلا مضل له من يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله يا الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان لكم رقيبا يا الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما أما بعد إن أصدق حديث كتاب الله عز وجل أحسن حديث محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم والشر أمور محدثاتها وكل محدث في الإسلام بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. Today, my dear Islam Iman, as we all know, is Remembrance Day, and it's a day in which in our country we reflect on the sacrifices of those World War II veterans that sacrificed their lives for our freedoms in this country. And this is the main reason why most people, they choose to come here, because they're able to do so many things that they cannot do in their country. In most cases, alhamdulillah, we have many rights, we have many privileges that we should not neglect or overlook. And this is all by the fadl of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We thank Allah for that and for those rights and privileges that we have. And many young men and women, they went overseas and they gave their lives, they gave their times, they made ultimate sacrifice. And in most cases, it was young boys, as young as 18 years old, that went and sacrificed themselves for the rights and freedoms that we are enjoying today. Today, bidnillah, with that said, I would like to speak about or discuss what is happening right here in our own backyards or in our own neck of the woods that a lot of us are aware of, and then a lot of the times we turn a blind eye to, or we become desensitized to what's happening, which is the excessive amount of senseless killing and crimes that are taking place mainly and primarily at the hands of young boys. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. Many young boys here in this part of the world are losing their lives or taking the lives of people, not knowing why they killed or not knowing why they end up getting killed. And this is exactly as the Prophet ﷺ said would be taking place just prior to Yawm al-Qiyamah. The hadith Sahih Muslim, on the authority of Abu Hurairah anhu, who stated that the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, وَالَّذِي نَفْسِي بِيَدِي لِيَأْتِيَنَّ عَلَى النَّاسِ زَمْنًا لَا يَدْرِي الْقَاتِلُ في أي شيء قتل ولا يدري مقاتل على أي شيء قتل. أو كما قال صلى الله عليه وسلم. He said sallallahu alaihi wasallam, first and foremost, I swear by the one who holds the soul of Muhammad in his hands. This is the strongest oath that he gives, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that a time will soon come upon people where the person who kills will not know why they have killed. And the people who are being killed will not know why they were killed. With that said, I'm sure that we might have heard about the recent surge in violent crimes in our city, carried out by mainly young boys. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. Teenage boys from the ages of 16, 17 years old are committing the bulk of the violent crimes in this city. We might have recently heard about the shooting that took place a couple weeks back by a 17-year-old boy, a 17-year-old Muslim boy, who now just last week turned himself in for the shooting of an 18-year-old boy. He shot and killed and murdered an 18-year-old boy. And he wounded another 15-year-old boy right in front of his high school. Right in front of the high school, just when the school let out at 3:30 in the afternoon. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. This incident was captured on video and it went viral. Many people had seen the video. It's only after, I assume, that the video went viral that he decided to turn himself in to the police, now being charged in custody and being charged with second-degree murder. Also, there was a shooting at another school. A grade 11 student, grade 11, 15 or 16-year-old, was shot and seriously wounded. And they said that the forensics officers, they found over 6 different shell casings in the parking lot of the school that let out at about 11 a.m. in the afternoon. This is when the shooting took place. In another school, earlier this year, there was a stabbing. There was a stabbing at approximately 3:04 in the afternoon after a fight broke out between 2 young teenage boys on the school grounds in the parking lot. One boy stabbed and killed another boy, and the other one was seriously injured. My dear brother Salam Iman, our youth are fighting and killing each other for no reason. Our youth, young boys between the ages of 16 and 18 are getting into beef, as they call it, for no reason whatsoever, to the point that people are fighting and killing each other. These youth who are involved in these things, involved in these crimes, they have no idea why they're involved in it. This is exactly as the Prophet ﷺ prophesied. Violent crimes are on the rise with youth between the ages of 15 and 17 years old. between ages of 15 and 17 to 18 years of age, the violent crime in the city is at their hands. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. This should cause us to ask ourselves, where are the parents? Namely, where are the fathers in this scenario? Because these young boys, they need guidance. They need tutelage. And in most cases, a single mother can't teach a boy how to be a man. Young boys, they need men in their lives to guide them and show them the right way. They need men to teach them so that they can understand that there is no need for things to escalate to that type of violence. They need to be taught. Young boys need to be taught how to be a man. Young boys, they need to understand that there is no need to bring a knife or a firearm to school in the first place. We need to understand and try and ascertain what is frustrating these young boys. We need to understand, why are they resorting to extreme levels of violence? What is causing them to do this? We need to explain to them what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says. إنه من قتل نفس بغير النفس أو فساد في الأرض فكأنما قتل الناس جميعا ومن أحياها فكأنما أحيا الناس جميعا. Whosoever kills a person not in a retaliation of murder or as a result of capital punishment, it is as if they had taken the life of all of humanity. And whosoever ahyaha, saves a life, it would be as if they have saved the lives of all of humanity. So can you imagine? Oh, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala so eloquently put it. The one who kills, the one who was killed, they both lost their lives. They both lose their lives. A person can be killed and he's gone. Another person can be going to jail and they throw away the key. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. Lives, 2 lives are lost. Generations are lost. They'll never be able to get married and live a good life and have children and start a business and so on and so forth. Why? Because of senseless killing. Now we're remembering those people, those young lads who went overseas in World War II to fight for our rights and freedoms today. Well, alhamd. These young boys in this land now that is affluent and they have all of these freedoms and opportunities have become so wishy-washy and soft to the point that they want to walk around with a knife or a gun. What are they trying to prove? That they're tough? That they're strong? Anyone can pull a trigger. Anybody can pull out a knife and kill somebody. But then what? We're going to mourn for the person who was killed for a little time, for a little moment. And the person who gets locked up, only thing we're going to hear is, oh, he got locked up. Now he's locked up. He's in prison. And this other person is dead. That's how they'll be remembered. For a short moment in time. Nothing except wasted lives. So we need to inculcate into these young boys the Islamic concept of a sabr. How to be a man is that a man knows how and when and where to act and where to place the anger. Because if you look at it, they're defending nothing. The youths are dying for nothing. They're pulling a trigger and they're killing for nothing. So we're losing a generation. In this era, we can't just sit back, lackadaisical, and watch them and just raise our hands and say we don't want anything to do with them. No, we cannot just watch the young boys struggling and just say, we throw up our hands and say we have nothing to do with them. No, because they desperately need guidance. They desperately need tutelage. Who's going to do it? We need to impart that. We need to impart this to the next generation. Namely, and specifically, I'm speaking to the young boys. Us as men, we have to inculcate this, pass this on to them. Because sabr is something which is a concept, it's a principle. It's made up of different parts and parcel. It's easy for someone to just say, be patient. But they need to understand what it means. Patience, perseverance, grit, knowing when to just walk away. Doesn't mean that you're soft. It means that you're wise. It means that you're wise. As they say, those who fight and run away live to fight another day. This is the main soft skill that we can pass on to the youth after Iman. We teach and inculcate Iman into their hearts. We teach them. But the real part and parcel of Iman is sabr. Allah says in Surah Baqarah, Ya alladhina amanu, asta'inu bis-sabri was-salah. Asta'inu bis-sabri was-salah. Inna Allah ma'a sabirin. Allah says, speaking to the believers, or you believe, seek help. Seek help with Allah with patience, perseverance, steadfastness, and prayer. Allah is with the sabirin. You have to understand that. Do we want Allah with us? Do we want Allah in our lives? So we have to be patient. We have to pray, taban. But we have to be patient on our prayer. We have to be patient on our iman. We have to be patient and perseverance in times of difficulty. There's a hadith in the Sunan of Tirmidhi, in front of Anas ibn Malik, reported that Messenger of Allah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam has stated, a time of patience, biding patience will come upon us. That a person adhering to their deen will be like holding onto a hot ember, a hot, burning hot coal. It's difficult to practice in all of this affluence and ease and comfort. Unlike the time of the Prophet ﷺ and his companions, they had difficulty upon difficulty. The Muhajirin left what they had because they were persecuted for their deen. And the Ansar, the helpers, helping complete strangers, taking in complete strangers to their homes and helping them. And they had formed a bond of brotherhood to support the deen. They fought and they died for a reason, for a purpose, for upholding the truth. Now, we have our young lads who go home, they have nice fancy clothes, nice food, warm house, and they're coming outside acting like they have no place to live and they have nothing to live for. And they're fighting and dying and killing for nothing whatsoever. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. We need to talk to them and make them understand that what they're watching on Netflix is just a show. It's not reality for you. It's not a reality for you. We need to follow them and watch them what they're watching. And then see how they're acting. And let them understand that this is not your reality. It's entertainment. Be entertained by the entertainment. And don't make that your reality. Because you're not a hood rat. You're a Muslim. Allah chose you to be a Muslim. So you need to act like a Muslim. We need to inculcate that into them. And make them understand what does it mean to be a man is a person of sabr. There's a hadith, Hudayfa, who said that the Messenger of Allah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was asked about the hour. When will the hour be? The Sa'ah, Yawm al-Qiyamah. When will it be? The Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, Ilmaha inda Rabbi Azza wa Jal. The knowledge of the hour is with my Lord, mighty and majestic is He. None. La ya'lumaha illahu. No one knows its exact time except Him. But I will tell you about some of its signs. The Messenger of Allah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he said, just prior to the last day, you will say, Inna bayni day sa'a, fitna wa haraj. just before the coming of the final hour, there'll be a great deal of fitna and haraj. The companions, they said, O Messenger of Allah, we know what is fitna. We understand the meaning of fitna. Trouble, trials, difficulty, problems. But what is haraj? The Prophet ﷺ said, Bilisan al-Habashi, qatl. The Prophet ﷺ replied in the Ethiopian language, this means killing. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help us and keep us all safe away from undue fitna and fighting and dying for nothing. Ameen, ameen, ameen. Bismillah, salatu salam ala Rasulullah wa ala alihi wa sallam wa tabi. Huda wa ba'd. My advice for myself and you all, for the parents, first and foremost, as the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam has stated, long hadith, kulukum ra'i wa kulukum mas'ul an ra'iti. Ar-rajul ra'i wa huwa mas'ul an ra'iti. All of us are shepherds, and we all will be held responsible for our flocks. The man is a shepherd, and he is responsible for his flock. In these times of confusion and senseless killing and needless killing, we need to remind ourselves, those of us who are in a position of authority and influence, we need to remind ourselves that we cannot just leave the young boys to the qadr of Allah. Many of us, we throw up our hands and we say, we leave them to the qadr of Allah. That's not how it works. Allah put us in positions of influence or authority, so we must use that in an appropriate manner. We have to let them understand that there is no reason for us to be in between people who are fighting and arguing and involved in unnecessary or senseless killing or words that are leading to that direction. Then I'm going to do this or I can do that. We need to disassociate ourselves with those individuals. As I say, you lay down with a dog, you're going to pick up fleas. We have to understand that there is no reason for us to end up a statistic of being killed or being the one who is doing the killing. We don't want to end up as a statistic. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had spoke about the description of the believers in Surah Mu'minun. قَدْ أَحْفَلَ الْمُؤْمِنُونَ الَّذِينَ هُمْ فِي صَلَاتِهِمْ خَاشِعُونَ وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ عَنِ اللَّغْوِ مُعْرِضُونَ. Al-ayat. Successful indeed are the believers, those who have concentration in their prayer, and those, when they see people acting cantankerous or acting braggadocious, or they're showing off, or they're whatever they're doing, we stay away from them. We're aloof from them. We don't involve in vain or foolish talks. We don't associate with people who are involved in those type of talks or trying to show that type of attitude. We have nothing to prove. Wallah alhamd. Remember the hadith and authority of Abdullah ibn Umar, the small boy, the son of Umar ibn Khattab. He said that the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam took me by my shoulder. He said, Kun fi dunya kanaka gharib, O abra sabil. Be in this world as though you are a stranger or somebody who's just a passerby, a traveler. Don't hold on to those people who are trying to show off or being braggadocious or acting so tough. Leave them alone. Leave them alone. In the past couple of weeks, I mentioned that the Dajjal will be released soon. I spoke about the Dajjal in detail, in description, and his army and his soldiers. We have to understand the people who will be following the Dajjal will be those wishy-washy Muslims, those fake pretending Muslims. We don't want to be in that category. We have to understand that the fitna is on the rise, and we want to be in the company of real Muslims. We want to be of those real practicing Muslims, and we want to be in the company of such people. Because there are many hadith that describe the descent of Isa ibn Maryam, that describe the characteristics of the believers in the time when the Dajjal will be released. I'll leave us off with two hadith in the Sahih of Imam Bukhari and Muslim. The Messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he said, لا تزال طائفة من أمتي ظاهرين على الحق لا يضر من خلفهم ولا من خالف لهم إلا يوم القيامة. There will always be a group of my ummah adhering to the truth. No harm will come to them of those who forsake them or those who oppose them until Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's Amr is established, until the day of resurrection has been established. Another riwayat is of the same hadith, حَتَّى يُقَاتِلَ الدَّجَّالِ. This group will remain ظَاهِرِينَ عَلَى الْحَقِّ, clearly established upon the truth, until they, that group of true believers, will stand and fight and defend against the Dajjal, and fight the Dajjal. Another narration, حَتَّى يُنزِلَ عِيسَى ibn Maryam وَهُمْ ظَاهِرُونَ, until the day when Isa ibn Maryam comes down, descends to this earth on the wings of two angels in the eastern side of Damascus, of the masjid with the two minarets. He will come down in the group of the true believers. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep us all steadfast. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep us all steadfast and patient on the sunnah. May Allah azza wa jal help our youth and keep our youth far away from fitna. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us, the men, the tawfiq, the strength and the ability and the gift of God to be able to speak and inculcate the realities of this life and the realities of the fitnas of walking around with narcotics, with guns, with knives, to let them know, Ya Rab, that this is something they need to just stay away from. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless our youth, bless our families, bless our wives, bless our daughters, keep them tahir, keep them pak. Allahumma ameen, ameen, ameen. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help our youth to stay away and stop looking for trouble. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep us and keep them in the company of the pious believers. Ameen, ameen, ameen. Inna Allah wa malaikatu yusalluna ala nabi ya alladhina amanu. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى ال محمد كما صليت على ابراهيم وعلى ابراهيم انك حميد مجيد. اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى ال محمد كما باركت على ابراهيم وعلى ابراهيم انك حميد مجيد. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنه وفي الآخرة حسنة